All right, so let's start with I guess first on the agenda is the Toby Alexander rep contract signature.
So you guys said you wanted to do the financials first.
Financials first, okay, so we're gonna move the financials up.
I'm gonna do it a little bit out of order from what I have on the sheet, but I wanted to close out FY 26. These are not official profit and loss and balance sheets yet, just because there might be a little bit of tweaking with some of the invoices we have submitted. But more of the story is that number is not real. I don't know why it's saying that the balance is. I checked our bank account. The lowest it got was maybe like 98,000. So that's just incorrect right now. But this accounts receivable is correct. So we have about $550,000 due to us right now.
And what does it do?
We do a net 30, but people pay when they pay.
So somewhere between 30 and 60 good. Most.
Somewhere between 15 and 120 days.
Okay.
What I'll say. And I will just say, like, I let the reserves get below what we agreed we would not let it get below, and I will be keeping a closer eye on that moving forward. Just billing more regularly, especially on contractor invoices. We're paying a lot of contractors in a timely fashion and then invoicing later. And so I'm gonna make those two processes align better moving forward.
So you were paying before we got reimbursed from the grant?
Yes.
From the funder?
Yep. Yeah. Sure. This is recording. I don't know to take notes. I can do that later. So we're due quite a lot of money, which is great.
You okay to make payroll in the meantime?
Yes. And then something that I think we'll all like. So again, we did about $2.3 million in income last year. Through a wide variety of funding streams. And
so this is for the whole fiscal year?
It's for the whole fiscal year.
You sent this to us?
No,
okay.
I did this last night. It is now linked in the board agenda.
Yeah, because I looked at it last night.
Okay, so I did it last night.
Okay.
And then our net income on the year should be around $80,000, which is great.
I'm gonna ask you another question about the food sale.
Yeah.
69,000 was a sale, but what was our payment? What was our expense?
For the tree sale?
Tree sale.
I gotta pull that up separately.
No, I'm sorry, I thought it was in there.
Trees are all of our trees.
Okay, that's what I was
It's
gonna
for
ask.
planting and sale.
Okay, that's okay, then you don't need to pull it.
But I should actually, we did do the tree sale financials, so I do have those. I just didn't link to them. So for 2026, we made about 70, and
So we still have less than we did in former years.
yes,
Okay.
yes. People are buying less, certainly.
Our BFA sale was less too.
Okay.
Made more money, but it was less. I didn't increase our prices.
We spent about 40 on plant materials. So if we don't account for, if it's just what we made versus what we spent without staff, we made 22. But then once you account for staff,
At least it's not negative.
right? And so this is staff time costs.
How did we make $20,000 2 years ago? So it's a $20,000 increment, the gap difference.
Yep, so $5,000 less in staff and made about 15,000 more.
So things were a lot less, we paid a lot less for our plant and material then.
Yeah,
Well, it looks like we paid 50 and we paid 46 this year.
We paid 38.
38 for the plant material.
Oh, I was looking at the bottom,
Yeah.
the total expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then if you were to use our billable rate instead of our like 1-to-1, so with that, so the making 3,000 reflects literally what we paid our staff for that time, no overhead, no indirect accounted for in that. If you do account for that, we lost about $23,000.
yikes, why did we do it?
Because it's what the community wants us to do. We are working on figuring out how to make it require less staff time next year.
I think you should probably increase the price of dollars. You'd be surprised what a difference that makes. You sell it, what, 11,000, 10,000 sticks,
Yeah,
and maybe integrate with some things that Dan has, and maybe some elderberries, and that don't cost anything much. Just an idea.
yeah. I would say this 20 was certainly the outlier.
Yeah, something's not quite right there.
Well, we made a lot more that year.
Yeah, but there's a relationship between how much you pay and how much. How much you pay and how much you sold it for. Either that or it was a lot cheaper that year.
Right.
Yeah, since it didn't have a percentage, I can't,
What year was it?
24.
What does that number represent?
This is how much we made versus how much we spent on plants. So just literally the subtraction. I was just curious if it was always 30,000, if it was always something else. So yeah,
Can you do it as a percentage? Just do it as a percentage of what you pay for the plants. Let it grow. We paid 48%, which is slightly less than 50, almost 50, well, 49 versus 56.
Well, the staff costs have gone up too.
Yes.
Paying our staff more.
You know, can I just have a kind of a committee level for next year, just put it in your filing banks? You guys have all just said how a lot of your plants just grow rampant, so do mine, like. Could you develop some community around people who had these kind of plantings that they could donate so that you could sell them? You know, like I can give you 15 of the best Concords grape starts you've ever wanted. And somebody else, something else, and somebody else, and you go ahead and sell them at whatever you would pay for them. If you went out and got, but you could increase your inventory with no expense.
Just the time.
Just the time management to
Well,
organize all.
I guess no, what I'm saying is it would be my responsibility to dig up those vines and provide them to you in wet newspaper with a, a rubber band, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we could really, you could make some, you might be able to.
What if it went a step farther and you, like, wherever we have the trees that we're selling, you want local Concord grapes? And that goes,
Yes,
connect with Linda.
yeah,
Then it's on you and the customer.
Well, I think
And
that one of the values of the
and then
tree
I
sale
donate
is
the money to you and you
one-stop
get a
shop.
tax write-off. Right, I don't know, I'm just saying,
The reason why I make kind of a big deal of it is we're thinking about someday buying a building. If our real loss is 23, our real loss is 23,000, which, yeah, it's a nice service, but we can figure out how to ratchet up too, so that we can make a little money. But also, all that staff hours that we're doing, this means we're not out doing things that we should.
It's
could
opportunity.
be
cost.
making money.
Right, and that we could be servicing the community and improving the community.
yeah, I'm all ears for how to make the tree sale better.
We're gonna
Like,
figure out how to make,
not so much
I made more
sale,
money than you did, and I didn't
fair.
sell that many.
Sure.
Connect people to
And you
people.
just sold,
Blueberries and elderberries and raspberries.
Hey, but you don't pay yourself.
No, we don't pay ourselves, no, but it comes in a bunch and. I get volunteers and we just break it up.
Yeah.
I buy things in pots though, see, you're maintaining where I only need to add some water. Like my blueberries, I buy them in pots.
Yeah,
They're $5 and probably shipped, they're like 7. But they're nice gallon pots and they're great big. It's so,
we're pretty strongly against importing any soil just for disease spread with any of these trees. Yeah,
Everything, yeah.
but would love to continue noodling on how to increase volunteers, reduce
or maybe it's
STEM costs. Yeah, I think it's,
Well, maybe Julie with a supply chain management degree
yeah,
can
maybe.
sit down and look at the data and figure
Map it
out
out.
some efficiencies that could be gained.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that'd be a great thing to put her on.
Yeah.
And plus we're traveling everywhere to get this stuff. Don't we have to go to East Tree?
That's the only place we go to.
Okay, I thought we had to go also to the,
Those are for tree plantings,
okay, so we went to the interview or something else, interview.
for our plantings, and
Oh,
they keep it in cold storage there for us till we need it, so
Okay, so that's it, no,
that's a separate issue.
I like going to Eastville. That was a fun day.
It is,
Send you
but
a
it's an excursion.
Good.
Where did you go?
Nice.
East Hill Tree Farm, thank you.
Oh,
Really nice drive.
Then you stop in Montpelier, get a nice pizza, and
okay.
then you go home.
Did you guys go together?
No, I used Marietta Schulten and I go.
I finally got some cherry trees that grew unexpectedly.
Some what trees?
Cherry, I've tried to get
Oh.
cherry trees to grow in my apple orchard for
I've
years.
never even heard of them.
And
Mine grow great. I never get a cherry though, but somebody does.
cedar waxwing. You have the
Somebody-
healthiest
somebody
cedar
does.
waxwing.
I know
Yeah,
those
those-
speakers.
She did the person on this board.
Marietta, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we looking
Smart.
to
She
group
just
it?
retired.
She did.
Always. We can only have 5 voting members.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, we can only have 5 voting members. We can have as many associates as we
But
want.
you could be an associate waiting.
So are you
Yeah.
gonna show us more on the budget?
So that's kind of closing out fiscal year 26.
Yeah.
Not officially, but then,
Projecting ahead.
projecting ahead. I made my budget a little differently than I have in years past. And it's much more detailed and much more makes me wanna vomit.
It's very detailed.
It's very detailed and it's color coded. But I guess some highlights at this point in time, looking like about 2.7 million in income.
And is the blue not sure and the black is for sure?
So the black is contracted. The red is highly likely. And the orange is, we know we got it, it's just not contracted yet. And then the blue is just for Ag CWIP because the way Ag CWIP works, it's a 2-year grant and they split the payments into 5. So a July of 26, a January of 27, July of 27, January of 27, January of 28, and then June of 28. So in 1 year you get 3 payments and in 1 year you get 2. So I just did half and half on this one, which is not actually how I'll bill, but it's how it works. So I did want to point it out, like I didn't do exactly what the payments I'm gonna get to invoice are, but it's effectively, we're doing half the work this year, half the work next year. So that's what the blue is. And then the bold is just my notes to myself of things I've quadruple checked against the fiscal year 26 that maybe needed quadruple checking because we were drawing them down other things.
So where's the biggest source of money coming from? The 228 is Ag CWIP, right?
Yes, that's definitely our
280,
largest.
yeah.
But
But to get to 2 point, I'm just not, 57 is what on the first one? NRCC. Where are the big ones?
so yeah.
Just like, open it up and get on.
There's 45 coming in from our like field trips and education work. There's 120 coming in from our cooperative agreement with U.S. Fish and Wildlife, which
That was
is
the Great Lakes Fisheries Commission.
this is directly through the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Okay.
And it's to do strategic wood addition and installation
Okay.
and culvert analysis.
Okay.
Um,
Or is much of that going out, or is it like going out to contractors?
that is all, at this point in time, we're planning to do that work.
Oh, wow, cool. And
Um,
then the Trout Brook Dam removal,
yes,
that'll be mostly going
that's
out.
mostly going out. Um. Floodplain project, that's mostly going out. Design project, that's mostly going out. Rock River, that's almost all going out besides like 20,000. Similar for us design, similar for that implementation.
So it's a red because we,
Red is, I highly expect us to apply for that grant. But we haven't actually applied for it yet, but based on the trajectory of those projects, likely that the next phase. Will come to that. This particular one, we actually do. We're working on getting in writing that we can get this if we get a FEMA brick grant. This would be the match required. That's why this is in here.
so what's the amount? I guess my question is, my old treasurer's hat, what's the amount that's not secure out of that 2 point something, the total amount or percentage? How hard would that be to figure out?
I'm counting the orange as secure because I'm pretty darn sure.
Numbers after lunch, is it?
Okay.
Great.
God, Vicky's on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm eating lozenges over here that keep me awake.
I have iced coffee.
Hi.
I might. I have an important question when you know.
So it's 20%.
Yeah,
Okay, so it could be down 40, 50, 56,000 from that?
it could be down 504.
Okay. Can't do the math.
Yeah.
None of.
So and what is our profit based on this?
So here's the thing. I typically usually build a budget just off of the staff costs and staff expenses, and that's how I get a expected income. This year, the way I built this budget is that I did staff costs kind of like 1-to-1 with the grant revenue. And so with that, it's around 23. But that's really only from like 3 grants and because of what we weren't able to bill for last year, but we already did the work for. In terms of, I'm not totally sure this was the 100% right way to build this budget, but it's gonna be useful for me to keep updated throughout the year. And I built,
This is flat level staff.
yes,
Can I ask something about this?
yes,
If you got hit by a bus tomorrow,
yes,
what, does somebody know where this is? And
Yes.
do they know the key? This color's this color's that?
the key is written.
All right, great, perfect.
Um,
I've lost my ability to see that part.
So I'm assuming though, through some of these other grants, we're gonna make money, because we made about 4% last year, right? 83,000.
sure,
So do I assume that even though it shows 23, there's some monies in there that will actually fall to the bottom line?
yes.
So remind me again, how you built out the expenses, the actual overhead and indirect was all included in the staff expenses?
So,
Got
the fringe. So anything associated with staff costs is in the staff cost line, so workers' comp, tuition reimbursement, the benefit stipend, the 401k match, that's all in staff costs. And then everything else is itemized.
Okay, so the indirect is all the other stuff.
Yes, I left almost all of it just in
So
the
it's, we
capacity.
can't assume
part.
any income generation from the indirect. It's real actual cost more than an estimate.
Right. Um. And then. I built out the staff budget. Based on giving the folks who have been here for 3 or more years, again, excluding me, giving them a 2% raise. And giving the people 3 years and less a 3% raise for July. And then I'm assuming a COLA of 4%. I don't know what inflation's gonna be this year. Not be good. And so all of that leads us to a total staff expense of about $800,000.
So there's a very easy message when we're speaking with our legislative friends tonight. Are you aware that we're contributing almost $1 million to the Franklin County economy?
The unfortunate thing is only 2 of us live in Franklin County.
Oh, but the money's made here.
Yeah, then I'd
Well,
say,
it's bigger than that
2.4
because we're
million.
paying contractors. It's way
Okay.
bigger than that.
Okay, so 2.4 is
It's
the number.
2.4 million.
Yeah,
Okay.
or
so
sorry,
that's a
sorry,
good-
2.
That's a
7.
good point.
It's a good sound bite.
Yeah.
They're talking to you. Do you realize that there are 9 employees contributing to almost $2.5 million annually to the Franklin County economy?
You could say almost 3 million.
I like it.
We're at it with 5.
Oh, that's almost 3 million.
It's almost 3 million.
Oh.
Lauren, we go back to that staff, 816.
It's huge.
So the real cost is 797,000.
For
And you
staff.
put it, you
Just
put
for
it in,
staff,
That's
not any overhead or
raises, that
With the
kind of-
raises.
not any office supplies or rent or anything else.
did you include that somewhere else, or is that what the 18,000 is?
The 18,000 is the income we're expecting.
Oh, front,
Sorry. The 18,000 is the income minus
Minus staff wages.
is the staff, is what I projected for staff income. Versus projections for staff expenses.
okay, so go back to the big one. Okay, but it's under cost, 816. So you think of it as, here's what we're gonna charge,
Yes.
okay. So it's not 23,000 to the bottom line, now I can have another 18.
I'm not following.
23.
The 18 from the previous page.
From the, right.
So
you
there's
just-
yeah.
$18,000 extra
yes.
from what Lauren's writing in the grant versus what's actually being spent on
Right.
that.
So now we're up to 41,000.
But it sounds like it's in my mind, some of that's getting absorbed in some other expenses, so I don't think it's a net. I don't think it's a net 18, I think it's the 23.
But she should have, did you include that somewhere in the expense line of our expenses?
Those should have been included already.
They're included in the expenses.
So I'm budgeting $2,400 for office expenses, 10,000 for software,
Okay, so I see what you're saying.
3,000 for the truck.
So the 816 is just what we're charging the grants, not what we're paying our staff.
Correct.
So it's 40, but we still have like 500,000 or whatever is potential that we won't get.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
So that's probably.
yeah, so in terms of, there's lack of clarity around staff expenses. Here. Is $107,000 7, which is 13%.
So I guess the reason I'm asking that, if we don't get all of these grants, we can't afford the staff we have.
Correct.
And is that taking into effect that your ratio of getting grants is about 75%, or at least in my head quickly from earlier?
No, I would say the ones that are written here are probably closer to 90% expectation.
Okay.
And the other one would be like cherries on top. Okay. I didn't include cherries on top in this projection.
Yeah, well, I know we're not there yet, but I just don't see with an $80,000 profit that we could ever in a trillion years support a building unless it was heavily underwritten by income. Structural, right from day one. Because buildings just, they're like a money pit, not to mention your time, and there's no building that's not a money. Right. If you were making in the end 300,000 a year, that'd be different. You could afford
Sure.
to convert your thinking about your mortgage, actually your rent into your mortgage, and then say, oh, I gotta have one more, oh, I gotta have people fixing the roof breaker, oh, but that's just 80,000, it's just a slim profit. Now, I do have to say, like, if you're just growing and growing like those graphs show, you're getting a lot of good done in the community, then that's your mission. Like, that's not to say that 80,000 isn't just fine if you're achieving your mission. That's some every single regret.
Right.
It's just too much of a risk for if you have that expensive.
Yeah, so I would say the 80,000 does include the 36 we paid for rent last year.
Yeah.
So it does not include, so if you wanted to make that 114.
Okay, there you go. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Still cutting it risk. So
Yeah.
I experience in building.
One, I didn't budget for health insurance getting more expensive.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's supposed to go way up again next year. I heard it on the radio the other day. and I just
Right
about
back there.
Yeah.
Cringed.
So we need to be smart enough to think about, okay, we're thinking about a building and doing, because it's what's gonna help move our community forward, in many ways. Then again, I'm gonna go back to maybe about fundraising, and about figuring out how do we not finance the building, but,
Fire.
yeah, outright, get people to make pledges and, but they have to see the vision, in order to step up to that. Because we do have people in town that have money. Without a lot of
Good
heavy
point.
lifting, I mean, we raised $90,000 so far for the, cardiac champ challenge. I mean, it may have been pennies here and there, but it has a way of mounting up, and we only did it over a short period. And I know Dragon Boat raises a lot of money too.
Yeah,
And I think people think of you as a nonprofit, even though you say you are not. They
Yeah.
think of you with
Yeah.
the same heart.
yeah. I think hopefully tonight's a good community event to be like, hey, we're kind of kicking off the next 80 years. What do you want from us? What do we all need to do is work together? So that's the budget I have for you. I will say also Viva is getting more than 3% because she signed on last year in a budget tight time, and we gave her a pretty low rate. And now I'm correcting that to what the rest of the team is making as well based on longevity. So she will now be getting paid. Having been here for a year, which she should have been making. So just so that's clear. Great. And then I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a rough cash flow projection. It's conservative, if anything. So the number's gonna be lower than what they'll actually be. Assuming we get paid when I think we're getting paid. Which is always a fun game to play. But so let me assuming our payroll stays around $67,000 a month. We should be able to refill our coffers pretty well by October. I mean, by the end of this month, we should be back above our policy of $150,000.
So are you saying by October, we may have $490,000 in the bank?
Yes, assuming we don't pay out large sums for contractors without invoicing them in a timely fashion, which was my fault the last 6 months.
And payroll per month is what?
It's 67.
67. So we said we want 2 months on here,
Yep.
plus the rent and all the other bills.
Yes, plus all the operating expenses, yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been treating it as 150.
For the 2 month period.
Mhm. And this is also what linked to in the agenda, so people can go in and look at it whenever they want.
Now, this is just receivable. Does it have anything to do with that $41,000 that we'll take in this year and perhaps more? Yes,
This is just cash flow.
right, this is just
This is
cash
just cash
flow
flow.
from what's owed to us.
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to think income. It's not anything to do with income. It's just cash.
Correct.
So it could be higher.
Could be
Yes.
lower.
It could
could
be,
be
it could,
both.
it could be lower, but it should equal out over time.
Yeah.
Because,
Right.
right,
And
I
so
mean,
a lot of,
if she doesn't invoice this much, or, you know, if something like Champlain Basin Program doesn't pay for 2 months.
right,
Then, you know, we could be a lot lower for a while if we're waiting on it, especially if she's paid the contractor already.
but it'll catch up. And
eventually.
eventually.
Yeah, and so the way the Lake Champlain Basin Program grants work is that you can't bill for any amount until the whole task is done.
Great.
So this year I was sitting on $90,000 of paid
Expenses.
contractor fees that I couldn't invoice yet because I was waiting on like one report before I could submit everything. Most of our work moving forward is structured better than that. So we should not have to do that right now that we know, yeah.
So, not to get off subject, but any word on who's gonna replace Eric?
I saw a job announcement go out the other day. Anyone's looking for a,
Eric Howe is leaving the Basin Program after 20 years. 10 as the director. So it's a huge gap.
Why, but
A little bit of micromanagement by his boss, he was real frustrated with. And he's gonna take over the Great Lakes Fishery Commission, which will give him complete flexibility and only one person to supervise instead of 20 or whatever he had, so, yeah. A little bit of a, you know, sanity thing. His boss was just terrible from what I understand, Susan, whatever her name was, really good.
so this is my projections. At this point in time, you guys have all been here long enough to know that on any given Tuesday, it changes. But I'll do my, I think that this budget will be easier to keep up to date versus the way I was doing it before. So that should be good.
I think it'd be interesting to talk to structural integrities about the way you build out the annual budget plan. And see if they have any suggestions, because they know districts pretty well now,
Yeah,
and I don't know, are you working with Sage or Dave?
Dave.
not to start, yes. See, that thing. Wow.
She did so good.
Yeah, amazing.
Dave,
Wow. She's right outside.
Viva, have her come in. Girl. Are you kidding me?
beautiful. Oh my
Are you
goodness.
Hi.
That really came together.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the different greens.
Yeah.
Those are really nice.
Really pretty.
Yeah, this is, I feel like I know Franklin County better.
Yeah.
Like, where is this river?
I know, we need a building just to put that in the entryway.
That's the reason why I.
There it is. Yeah. Got our entryway art.
Yes.
Do you have paint with you?
No, well, actually, we have the fish tank.
I just noticed
Yeah.
one typo.
Oh, what did I do?
Engagement doesn't have an M.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I was a lot of them I was painting backward. Oh, I also forgot to cross that A. I was painting a lot of them backwards so that they'd line up right.
Sure.
Spelling is, I'm not great at spelling to begin with. It's way harder when you do it backwards.
But it's freaking incredible to you. It's so good.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, really nice.
I guess we're gonna start, I'm gonna check in with Faith and see if we can try something up outside. Unless there's any,
No, we're going through the budget. Don't think you want to be in here.
Run away.
one more thing inside.
That's really talented. It's
Yeah, it really is.
I think the cow is like so perfect,
It's
the
like-
dimensions and everything, it's like,
Looking at.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
This is more
There's a
conversation
side of me that is really glad it's brown and white.
Yeah, that's
Not
right.
black, but then there's another side.
about having fun.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
Well,
We showed it Guernsey.
I
know, you
Put that in the whole state.
You could say
Getting
FCNRCD.
towards the vision.
That was
Because
national,
the red,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
enough, it could be a Guernsey, but it could be ours. So, you know, you get,
I was just talking about why didn't we put black and white,
Yeah.
but I like the brown and white cows,
I do, they're prettier.
It stands out.
Yeah, they have much prettier eyes.
Oh, yes, they do.
Isn't that
So
so?
it's not as productive.
That's awesome.
No. Red
yeah.
Holsteins.
They don't.
Any around here, but they've said
What?
red Holsteins.
I saw, where was I yesterday? I was coming through Georgia on Reynolds Road. And there was a cow that had horns out to here. It was not a Texas Longhorn because they weren't long and skinny. They were fat with horns straight out, about 18 inches to 2 feet on either side.
What road?
Reynolds Road in Georgia. I had never seen a cow like this before in my life. I was like, what the hell is that? So,
Are the horns really, really biggish round?
yes,
too?
on the side and then down to a
It's
point.
from Africa, that, yeah,
Okay,
yes.
Africa.
West Africa.
It's not a wagyu.
I
is it?
saw,
No.
no, I saw a documentary with that kind of
Okay.
cow in it, and the
It
king
was
has,
frightening looking at those horns. I would not want it because they were so substantial,
yeah.
you know?
I got a burger from the Wagyu Black Angus Cross. It is amazing.
Well, they sell wagyu, they have Wagyu Wednesday every single Wednesday at Georgia Market, you know,
Good.
truffle flies. So, do we need to do any more? Are we good?
I need to accept the FY 26 financials.
Okay, so somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept them. For sure.
Third,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Okay, and then, we also need a,
accept the 2027 budget plan.
yes.
Your motion?
I'll move to accept the 2027 budget plan.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Did you get Molly and Dan? Can you hear that in the recording?
I think so, yeah. No, pick it up.
All right, so are we gonna move back to Toby Alexander Crepe contract, or is that the direction we're going?
I guess just at a high level, just talk about the budget. It's kind of two types of grants that we get right now. One is cost reimbursement. So if we spend the hours, we can bill for them at our billable rate. If we pay a contractor, we bill for that at what they invoice us for. Kind of one section of grants. And then there's this other section of grants where we build out a budget table, we say how much we think it's gonna cost in staff time and in professional services. And as long as we do that task and the contractors cost what we think they would cost, then we get that amount of money. So that one's not necessarily a one-to-one hours. And then there, I guess actually there's a third, Ag CLIP is kind of out on its own. And as long as you do your deliverables, you get paid the total amount. But I just wanna, that's kind of how our funding works. And then I think we're kind of getting into a bit of more federal grants where you really just get paid the staff time that staff worked only on that. You can't put an indirect. You can use fringe, you can still use like the benefits for that staff.
You can do an indirect, you just can't have a billable rate, you have actual,
Okay.
I think that's the difference,
Okay,
right? You can do 15% indirect.
So I thought it was 15% now too. LCUP is still claiming 10.
Huh.
Which is,
I've been told that it changed to 15 on
I have
PSD.
seen documentation that it changed to 15. So that's been, fun. So it just kind of at a high level, that's how most of our grants work. So it's not necessarily one of those things we can ever really make income, a net income off of, because you have to have spent the time most of the time. So just, I wanted to say that. Now we're at the Toby Alexander Cup contract signature.
I just, we are sort of a nonprofit and we're not here to like bank money, right?
Right.
We're here to provide community goods and services, so we just have to remind ourselves.
And so one of the duties of the conservation district still is to accept and approve CREP conservation plans. So this is like the tree planting along streams that the federal government and the Agency of Ag in Vermont do. And so this is, Richard used to sign them as a chair, and now Vicky will sign it. I'll just hand this to you. If you want to look at it, it won't load for some reason.
It's not a conflict of interest. How many years has it been? He's an NRCS employee. Oh.
As long as you're not a current federal employee, it's fine.
Well, I'm trying to think on the federal side.
Ah, gotcha.
Is this for his East Fairfield forest line? Or did he buy more land? I mean, I thought it was all forested. I can't imagine where he's doing crap.
What is crap?
Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, where you
That's-
do a riparian
That's
buffer.
out.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just
There you
up
go.
the road. YouTube.
so you do a
Riparian
buffer.
Yeah. That's it. That's
So,
it. Done.
You get paid a per acre rate every year, just like for CRP.
What do I do in a riparian buffer?
You plant trees and you don't put animals through it anymore. You don't.
Oh,
you don't
okay.
anymore.
You don't, like if it's in cropland, like if you do a riparian buffer, you take the land out of crop production and plant trees.
Okay.
Or sometimes it's in CRP, it could be grassland on a hillside on highly erodible lands. Two different ways to be eligible for CRP and CREPS. So CREP is the enhancement portion of CRP program.
What do you need?
We don't have much playing, if any, CRP in Vermont. Nobody's planting highly erodible land permanently to trees or grass. Which is too bad.
Do we have a lot of higher?
We do. We do.
In Illinois, it's almost 100% to stop farmers from plowing right up to within 1 foot of every single river and creek. When I was growing up, that's what it was. It was
It
just
should
one
be,
tree.
because I think
And of course, it's the road was
East
just nightmare.
East Fairfield is
trees,
where
large
Vermont
rain.
was almost.
Now, almost
Road
100%
and Highway
of Illinois has at least 200
He
feet.
lives in Georgia.
It's crazy.
Oh.
And then the creasing. But
Yeah.
With all
Jordan
the-
has two different post offices.
And so they pay.
Oh, it was-
So on my end.
Do Vermont.
Yeah, to
Nope,
do that,
that's
and then
just
just
an
our.
And then part of it-
Land is.
Yeah.
Qualify for all.
I feel like there was another.
Nice. Who's gonna plant the buffer and then do a herbaceous weed treatment on that buffer to keep
Mhm.
control of the invasives. Okay. Yeah, this is funny.
Okay, and then the next forms that we all get to sign. Sure, I'm doing this right. I think I filled this thing out so many times before. Thank you very much.
Should put smiley face on.
So because Richard's no longer on the board and you're on the board, and actually we haven't updated this since Dan joined the board. Or Linda joined the board, we're updating our bank. So. Typically we've had the chair and the treasurer with all of the responses, all of the
Use your words.
powers granted, all of the powers granted. Again, chair.
Ours, great.
Vicky, chair.
That's what I wrote. Okay,
Cross
I'm
it
gonna
out
stop
with
trying to
group.
talk
Pack it.
while I do this. Fix this. Margaret, right?
Is that your real name? I like mom.
Alright. Nobody calls you Maggie.
Or Peg, no,
Maybe.
her name is Margaret Mary and. Maybe already found new mom. You better.
Are you waking up? Stand up and use the jumping jack.
Good idea.
All right. Everyone could sign and date across from your name. You have to sign twice and Vicky has to sign twice.
It's a name you don't hear often. I had an Anthony, maybe.
I like them. How's it going?
Here we are.
Good.
Any work?
I'm missing practice tonight, sorry.
Oh.
Over a lot of work. I'm sorry. See, one thing you don't have to do for the cardiac challenge is like meet with the city and go over an hour and a half of. Where's your fence gonna be? Do you have your liquor license? You have, you
No
know,
liquor. Yeah.
we have a brewery that comes, but they get the license for us.
No, it's hormones in there. Yeah. I gotta, if I don't give you the ice cream name. I have to remember this.
But you guys make more money than us too,
Even.
because you're not paying anybody.
Yeah, I want to buy it every single day.
Last year, we got a $50,000 donation, which really helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we only bought
I
those,
kind of cop.
some extra.
Cross it out.
I am sorry. I wrote
Yeah.
names on.
Most of the money goes to the charity.
Yeah.
I got people standing there with stopwatch. Time is out. We got free
Yeah, you don't have to pay
speakers.
$7,000 just to get the timers down here.
No,
Canada,
we've got free speaker systems. Now we have Bluetooth one.
we pay $8,000 for our sound.
Vermont Access TV gives it to us for free, the company.
It's set up nice.
Yeah, the only thing we have porta potties. I think Myers probably, was saying, hey, do it at a really reduced cost for trash.
They used to do our trash for free.
Yeah,
We don't use them anymore. We use Casella.
oh, okay, that was good.
Yeah, but well, Meyer started charging us
Oh,
after 17, 18 years. They decided to start charging us. But no,
Bummer.
no, we're gonna move on.
no, this is good marketing. I'm looking, on Jerry's.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to do away with this. I might come back with new forms next meeting, guys.
Uh-oh.
I messed it up.
I messed it up too.
Name is Samantha.
Thank you.
Her
And
name is
then
Samantha Morris.
you put your name and you.
Samantha Morris.
Burn.
She's the reliability engineer. Doesn't seem like that would be the right person, would it?
No.
But that's my contact. Have they been sold? Ben and Jerry's is a division of the Magnum. I swear,
Unilever created the new spin-off, yeah, it's a spin-off, yeah.
Right. And you sign it. Where's your signature? I didn't do mine yet. I'm forgetting about, we put it above yours.
Sign it up.
Yeah. This is going to blow. I was just copying yours.
Just in there. Just, yeah, you, easy.
Yeah.
Here we
There we
go.
go. Good enough. Good. Vicky, can you sign this one? Above your written name and number 2, please.
Used to be over farm.
It's not, it's sitting down.
No.
It's just killing.
Yeah.
killing.
Perfect, nice weather. I did garlic today.
I do too. The ground is so ready.
But that's maybe 30 now.
Sure. Got it.
Gonna be hot
Set it
tomorrow
up
too.
on racks in the barn, dry, safe for the weight.
Yeah, that.
Is it okay if I, should we, are we done with that, Lauren? Should I leave? Are you still working on it?
We can move on to the next thing, which is Karen's gonna talk about investment.
Okay. All right, guys, let's get refocused while Lauren's finishing the paperwork.
We're ready?
Yes, sorry. So I'm gonna continue to stand so I can get some blood flow, and I'm not doing this to try to be domineering. CDs and sweep accounts. And let's not have what happened to FNLC happen to the district.
Public meeting also.
What's that?
It is a public meeting.
Yeah. It was just the way the county made it look like we had 0 money.
Oh. That's fun.
So Lauren and I met with at People's Trust. We talked about several things, but and I wasn't late, I guess, I was late. But we talked about something called CDAR, CDARS, which stands for Certificate of Deposit, which we all know, Account Registry Services.
You Googled it?
Yeah, I
Yeah, you
did.
did.
Because I couldn't open the form that he sent you.
Oh,
Yeah, it wouldn't open for me. So what essentially that is they work with municipalities and large businesses. So say a large business that has like $1 million, they can't just put it in the bank because they're not insured, right? FDIC only insures 250,000. So what the CDAR does is you make the contract with People's Trust, but it has to be divided into 4 accounts. So they may send it to 3 other banks, each which will secure the 250,000. So no matter what. No matter what.
Our first casualty, sorry.
No, your money is insured.
Yeah.
So that's the plus. Also, and I'm hoping you remember, I threw out that little piece. I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere. They pay a little over 3%. And you can invest your money in 3 different tranches, like, I think it's 1 month.
1, 3, or 6 months,
Okay, I was right, 1, 3, or 6 months.
and it's 3.5 APY,
Regardless of the length of time.
regardless of the length of time.
Okay, well, that's cool.
So and you can say, look, we're gonna put it in for 1 month and let it roll every single month. The problem is, it's like a CD, it stops every single month and you get all this paperwork every single month, which you thought was.
And then it opens a new account every
Yeah.
time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Right, so the intent is to say, look, maybe we ladder the money,
Yep.
laddering.
Yep.
So you ladder.
Comes
by
due at
putting-
different times.
Right, so it all comes due at different times. Even if we did it 6 months at a time and we said, look, we're gonna put, we'll always have paperwork coming due. But it'll all be laddered and every single month we could have money coming due, but it's at 3.5%. I mean, which is, we're not getting anything now, right? Right, and you think about the amount of money that flows through our system. That one, we have $400,000, even at 3%, that's another 12,000 a year. So it's substantial money for our little agency.
And then there's the high yield savings account,
Right,
which is 1.85 APY. But it's basically, it's the same thing as checking, it's instantly available, but it's always getting 1.85 versus 0.
so we could dump our interest money in there, but. I mean, it depends on how we decide to do it, but you can see where if we invest in most of our a lot of our money in this 3.5%.
Well, I would advocate that we come up with a recommendation, on how much to split, to put in different time lengths. So if we find a building that we wanna jump on, do we want X amount?
We'll be
on
at,
hand?
at worst, we'll be 6 months out.
We'd be 6 months out if we wait, so do we want a little bit that we could like at least manage a little bit of a down payment that was only tied up for a month or two until a closing was scheduled? And then some other amount in a longer term account. And then you need the 150, if we wanna keep 150, either in the 1.85, right? Because we're not getting anything where we're at now,
Right,
if it operates like a checking account.
does.
So that would be, a thought I had, that try to figure out how much, maybe we don't have enough money to stagger it that much, I don't know. But it feels like we ought to, I definitely feel like we ought to do something.
Right now, we only have 90,000, right?
I think we're up to like 120, but yeah.
But is that typical of what will happen every year?
No, I should have billed more contractors sooner. Truly, like that, I'm gonna take that one, that one's on me.
So if we did a projection though, how much money would we typically have in float? Have that we could
That
use
was your
for-
cash flow analysis, right?
I mean, here's what I think.
So between 300 and 400 some thousand.
So we should always have that kind of 350 at least available.
Assuming I didn't do this horribly wrong, yes.
So we could put $200,000 in theory, once we get our money.
Yeah.
In this CDARS account.
Yeah. And still have the 150 that we either leave in the current situation or we move to some kind of interest bearing account. Yeah, I would advocate for that. And then again, maybe part of that 200 is in a different timeline so that we can get at it if we need it. But still earning the 3%, just rolling over. And yes, I know it's a lot of paperwork, but it gives us the flexibility. As long as it's at the same percentage.
Yeah, we could kind of dollar cost average in and say, okay, in January, put 50 for 6 months. February's 50 for 6 months, March 50 for 6 months, and then you've always got that 50,000.
And that sounds good.
But they're in for 6 months. Still, it's paperwork every single month.
Yeah, I mean, I'll deal with the paperwork. This is all not my comfort level, not my comfort zone, so I trust you on this.
But you think even if you're gonna buy a building, I mean, it's gonna take still a while unless something you have to jump on right away.
Well, and
We-
we
we
can
can-
always take it out. We just pay a little penalty. So
I don't think there's any
penalty, you just don't get all the interest.
You don't get the interest.
Yeah.
That was my understanding.
So, yeah,
Brainer.
it's a no brainer.
What's the downside?
Yeah.
There was
Paperwork, can I have the Wi-Fi paper?
no,
And do the -5, not the -2.4.
so the nice thing is perfectly safe. We make a lot of money. It could be really.
There's no downside other than paperwork.
Right.
But
It
the
is.
200,000 is
And you could do
$7,000
paperless
a year.
and just,
I think they can do paperless or something.
Oh, they got it.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Now,
All right, so you receive
my
a
insurance.
packet every month and scan it. Yeah.
Can't you do EOBs, estimate of benefit statement for insurance on paperless?
Yeah.
There's no way you can't anymore. I can't.
Oh, I can.
yeah, my old company still sends me the damn paper. I'm like, that's stupid. But it's through Intrify, it's called.
Yes.
I mean, so it's not like it's not a regulated agency.
Yeah.
And so at this point in time, I have 2 documents that I am allowed to sign based on our current bank situation, to enroll in this
Okay.
without setting up any exact numbers. So I would, technically I don't need your permission, but I would like a vote to enroll in this.
Okay.
Um,
Do I hear a motion to enroll in the CDARS
I'll make that
account
motion.
with,
So,
which I
Intrify.
used from Karen on amounts and how to ladder it. So I was just gonna finish that.
yeah,
Okay,
because in theory, in August, we could put in 50 grand if we have to keep the 150
right,
out, as long as we get the 213, or we could do.
right.
I'm hesitant to do it July until we absolutely know we have them.
I agree.
any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Bye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I'll just sign these.
Good job. Thank you guys for doing that.
Yes.
It was easy.
Who's your?
Yeah, I never
That's
knew
great.
about C.
Jim? Schuler?
Okay, moving on, we're gonna move on to, do we wanna, is it not considered, it's not considered executive session, right?
It's not.
Okay, so Mel Afternoon tuition reimbursement application.
So, Mel already took this course. And passed it. She did provide how it was relevant to what she's doing now, and her request was for reimbursement of $2,326,000. She's already taken, it was a full certificate program. I think it was like 6 courses.
What was the course?
Clean and Equitable Energy Development Certificate Program. It was 3L. And so,
I don't really see how that applies to us.
so, her statement on the relevance is because it tackles multiple NRCS resource concerns through increasing climate resilience. Most notably, clean energy development provides benefits to air quality, which is currently a less developed area of the district's scope of work. However, expanding district staff's knowledge about concrete and economically feasible projects to improve air quality can help expand our work and assist landowners, communities in Franklin County with tangible benefits. In particular, I learned more about the ways that clean energy has become an increasingly relevant tool for farmers to diversify income streams and improve overall economic viability and stability. As it pertains to our work, farmers can greatly benefit from clean energy development while maintaining much of their land base for production through the implementation of agrivoltaics or wind energy projects. I'm eager to use the information skills I've learned to assist Franklin County farmers and other landowners that may be interested in similar projects. And then I did link to our policy, which does say,
You have to apply in advance?
That's what I was wondering.
so,
It's so much more awkward when they do this. When you have to sort of.
Capped at a maximum, it was capped at a maximum of what?
it's 25 for the
It was that
calendar
second
year.
paragraph.
This is a retroactive request.
This is a retroactive request.
What was the second paragraph on the second page?
Is there a reason?
Within 30 days.
I had the same question,
The employee must submit.
Is there a reason she didn't apply
Um,
before she?
I would have to ask her.
Awesome.
It does say within 30 days of completing the course, so maybe she didn't think she needed to.
No, it does say in here,
We had this
at
happen.
least 90 days before the start of the course.
Okay.
We had this happen a couple of times. And I just said, whatever it says in the manual, because once you go off the reservation for
Yeah,
one
that's what they
person,
do at our school.
you're totally toast for
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
else, and it could snowball into lots of things.
So is this a great employee?
I think that's an executive session conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would also like to say that, while clean energy is a really important aspect of, the big picture, I'm not sure it's specific to what is currently in line with our strategic plan. And I don't think it's as relevant to our work as some of the other courses she might have taken.
I totally agree with that. Cause remember, that's part of the equation is choices. There were other choices. That's
Well,
what
and
makes
it's
it
after the
relevant.
fact,
And
our
it's after
policy
the-
says,
after
and
the
so
fact,
then maybe
right.
that's all we say, sorry, it's after the fact, you didn't follow the policy.
That's easy enough, guys, cause I'm telling you, you can never get out of it saying yes to one of those.
Yeah.
So can that just be a motion to,
Yes, would anybody like to entertain a motion that we deny the request for tuition reimbursement for the class that Mel Aperdu has applied for?
Go ahead. I'll second you. I'll
Any
second.
further discussion? Molly's not doing it.
She gonna expect a letter from us or?
no,
Molly stepped away, let's give Molly a second.
I think your point is really important, however.
Wow.
It would be nice to know why she didn't
Right.
ask in advance, unless she thought, I'll pay Chris and then I'll try. Don't know,
Why not?
Oh, was this time, wasn't it?
don't know,
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
right.
Go do something else?
Not in the last 6 months,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate if it's just a matter of not reading the application carefully at bad timing, but still. It's clear.
Molly,
Yeah.
we're waiting on you to join us.
Sorry.
We have a motion on the table to deny the request for reimbursement application that's been submitted. And it's been seconded, so I'm just opening up for further discussion if anybody wants to have discussion.
I have a question, obviously I can't vote on this, but like, yeah, it's not really permanent. She didn't kind of propose it beforehand, maybe not this case, but hypothetically, like maybe instead of 2,500, maybe a smaller amount as like, hey, you did coursework tangential, but not quite on par. You succeeded, but it isn't in line, like, I don't know if that would ever be an option.
You can always come back if you say no.
And then it's, yeah,
And
you
give you a
know,
good reason why, you can always come back to us and say, here's what happened here. We can always raise it again.
Any other discussion before we vote? Okay. All in favor of the motion? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
That is the last formal item I have.
Good job.
Which,
Is there any other discussion before we adjourn the regular board meeting?
our next meeting is scheduled, we all agreed last time. I'll tell you when it is.
March 13th or something.
In my calendar.
NRCD at
Well,
August,
Oh, right, we're doing it in the morning.
10 to 12. I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, 10 to 12 on the 12th, and then we did already schedule the September meeting as well for the 10th from 3 to 5, and that's the one that structural integrity is going to be joining us for. That's the financial things.
What day is the 10th?
Thursday. Okay, we will certainly record it.
All right, so any other business we need to attend to before is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We didn't second.
We didn't second it. Anybody want to second that?
Second it.
Molly seconded. Okay. All in favor? Aye, one last time.